Okay, everybody, happy Monday. And for big waves to go ahead and get those double hands, especially if you're having a hard time getting going this morning. Just do the double hands, heel. I know I'm talking to you. Get them double hands going, buddy. All right. So here's the thing. If you've been with the Coach's Corner since like when we were on lockdown back years ago, we had this debate about grits. So let's go ahead and put it out there. Normal people eat their grits with butter and sugar in it. And so put a one if you're a butter and sugar in your grits kind of person. If you are, well, I classify you as normal. Now, there's another group of people out there that do their grits in butter and salt. Now, we categorize you people as a little bit abnormal, but we still love you. We still love you. So you can put a two in the comment if you're a little abnormal, but we we love you too. Okay. So, all right. I think there's more ones, which is my point right there. Okay. We're not going to debate this anymore on this Monday. Now, it goes right along with the word of the day. But before we get into it, there's some birthday people that snuck through the weekend. Okay. It's always tough when you have a weekend birthday, and especially if it falls on a Sunday, because sometimes we don't catch it, right? And Cynthia Bolden, Crystal Vance, Maria Long all had birthdays this weekend. And so if there's anybody else in here that had a birthday this weekend, please let us know. But if you've got their reach out info, reach out to them today. Tell them happy birthday, even that it was on the weekend. So, all right. And Olivia Sykes actually has a birthday today. So, Olivia Sykes, if you're on, I don't know if she is, but if she is, we hope you have the most amazing birthday ever. Now, the word for today, since I've muted the lines and wouldn't let you, other than in the comments, talk about your grits, whether you're normal or abnormal, is authority. Authority is the word. Authority is when you have influence over something. Today, I have influence over the mute. Actually, the moderators have influence, so I guess they could overrule me. But authority is the power to influence, guide, or lead others because of your knowledge, your character, your experience, your position. And as I was looking at this word authority, let me say this. One of the most critical things we do as humans is we critique ourselves in the through the eyes of looking at other people far too often. Like, I'm living in this beautiful home, but I'm viewing my home compared to someone else's home, and it's just not quite good enough. I'm driving this car down the road and it's getting me from point A to point B, but I'm looking at other cars. You go, Brent, what does this have to do with authority? Well, because a lot of times I have, or you have, influence over people. And, but a lot of times we look at it and go, but it's not as big as their group of people they have influence over. It's all perspective. And a lot of times as humans, we really spiral because we're looking at everybody else's plate of food while ours is getting cold and stiff and brittle. And this word today, it was talking about, and as I was looking at the authority, it was talking about successful people, and it was talking about people that really they treat authority very serious. And it comes with a lot of expectation in their mind. Like they wear it because if they have influence over just one human, they take it so serious because they know their words matter and they've got to be really careful what they say because it could influence a direction for people. And so we all have authority. We all have our groups. And I hope this morning you really think about yours and what you're doing with it. Because many people think it like comes with a title. It, it does not grant authority. Like I could have the biggest title in the world and no one follow me. No one appreciate the title. It's trust. Like trust earns authority. And you can't buy trust. You can't grab a title to get trust. You have to lean in. And here's the thing. Someone was, whether you're an Elon Musk fan or not, someone was interviewing Elon Musk over authority. And he said it doesn't matter how many billions of dollars you have. It doesn't gain you authority. Authority's built when you're leaning into people and they know that they can trust you. They know you're not going anywhere. They know you have their back. And so the most respected leaders are not the loudest people in the room, right? I had a guy one time that was in my business that decided he was going to be brutally honest with people. Maybe you've heard me talk about that on the Coach's Corner. So he decided, I'm just going to be brutally honest with the world. And he really thought that was going to bring him more authority if he just told people exactly how it was. Where is he today? Didn't work. Listen, you don't have to be the loudest person in the room, but you do have to be a person that shows up for people to earn their authority, right? And I got to turn it. I'm out of time, but I can get on a rant about this. Ash is like, yes, you can. Because here's the deal. When I was in coaching, it was the same way. There was a lot of people that could draw up plays and X's and O's and all of that. But the number one way to win is to gain trust through your players. And if you had that, they would absolutely, they were not just playing a game for them, they were playing a game for something bigger than them because the person they were fighting for had their back. Not because they were the smartest, they were the most outspoken, they were the, no, it was because they were in the trenches with them. So, authority is a big word. So, Ashley, I'm going to turn it to you. I'm going to get off my rant this morning on authority, but it's a great word to look into.
So, so good. It's been a great lesson looking into this word. So, real quick before we start, since we started on the grits comment, put a 3 in the chat if you really just don't eat grits very much because you live in the Midwest. I don't even think I had grits until I went to an event down south somewhere and I was like, I don't even know what these are. So every time Brent talks about them for the last 11 years, I finally know what they finally taste like. So I just had to put that in there as a joke. I was going to pipe up earlier, but anyway, authority is such a great word. So I'm going to start with a quote this morning. It says, authority is not built by demanding respect. It is built by becoming the kind of person people naturally respect. Such a powerful word. And so, how do you build more authority in your life? And so, keeping your promises, especially the small ones, that is something I've always told our children. That is something I've always lived by is if you say you're going to do something, you better dang do it, right? Keep your promises. Doesn't matter how small or big they are. You can build more authority by keeping those promises, by showing up, by saying you're doing what you said you would do, right? Continuing learning and developing your skills. That I think is a great one because sometimes we just feel like we just kind of get in a little stagnant spot, right? You always have something to learn. You can always become better, always that 1% better every single day. Be willing to admit when you don't know something. Sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow, right? If you guys are in our company and you listen to Dr. Josh Plant, he literally breaks it down into like micro-sized little nuggets that help us understand. Like he's a scientist, he's super smart, but he like breaks it down so simply to where maybe I don't feel so silly or feel like I don't know something, right? But in those moments, you have to be willing to admit that when you don't know something, let your actions speak louder than your words. I think that is a big one. Showing up for people we talked about last week, buying that coffee for that person behind you, paying it forward, but really, really letting your actions speak louder than your opinions. Focus on serving people instead of impressing them. That is a big one in this company. I feel that is something I've always really just found is serving and giving value, showing up. Right? Like, surprise, you guys get me today. Brent wrote me last night and he's like, hey, would you be willing to fill in today since Andrea's on a plane this morning or getting ready to board one? Absolutely. Focus on serving people, focus on showing up, focus on giving value. I'm on here anyway, so I might as well just put my face on and turn my camera on, right? Speak with confidence, but stay teachable. Uh, Speaking with confidence is very, very great, but it's also that teachable moment where you don't have to be the person who knows everything in the room. You might speak with confidence and you might know what you're talking about, but sometimes it's staying humble and taking a step back and still remaining teachable in that moment. Leading yourself well before trying to lead others. This is kind of a two-way street on that coin, right? So leading yourself, teaching yourself your self-development, becoming better, but also like you don't have to know everything before you can turn around and put a hand out to help that next person, right? Sometimes as we go into as our teams continue to grow, as right, start getting duplication. We feel like we have to know so many things, or we feel like we have to be a Brent Palmer, a Todd Rowland, or Michelle McKay before we can turn around and do that same thing to that next person. Just lead yourself, become better, but always turn around and open up that hand for that next person. And then remembering that character gives authority lasting power. And so it is having that respect that you get from people, but you don't have to know everything to have authority. You just have to simply need to know more than the person you're helping or be willing to continue to help them learn. So that is all I have this morning, Coach. Thank you for having me on this morning. Safe travels, Andrea.
Great word, Ashley. Yeah, yeah. Well, we're going to have a great week here. And for all of you that do not know what grits are, if you'll get to Nashville, Tennessee on the 27th, Haley, Lee, and Andrea will cook grits for you. Okay. All right. So you guys can experience that. So, all right. Love you guys. Have a great Monday, and we'll see you back tomorrow.
Everybody have a great day.
Thanks, Ashley
Have a
Paulson.
great
Good
day,
night.
Safe
everybody.
travels,
Have a
Andrea.
great
Love you
job.
guys. Have a great day.